Big deal or no deal? Brian Gutekunst at the NFL owners meeting on Monday was asked about the possibility of Jaire Alexander returning to the Packers in 2025. He said, obviously a very, very good player for us. We have some time here to kind of figure that out, see what's best for him and for the organization. It could be a possibility, absolutely. We're in the middle of that right now. Do you think that this is Gutekunst actually being serious, like that Jaire could return? Or is he just trying to boost trade value, get someone to make a move for their guy instead of having to release him? Big deal or no deal?
I don't think this has anything to do with this trade value because there is not a team if a team wanted Jaire Alexander, they would have traded for him by now. I really think this is true. I don't think, and certainly saying to the media like, oh, maybe we'll keep him. I don't know, guys. That's not going to affect his trade value in any material way. We've talked about it on this show a lot. I know Packers fans are very eager to move off Jaire Alexander, but when you have the cap space to keep him, and he's a player who can contribute when he's healthy, people early on in the offseason were saying, like, let's bundle Jaire Alexander and like a first for Max Crosby or something. Jaire Alexander is basically no trade value. I think you would be lucky to get a 5th or a 6th round pick for it because I think people around the NFL are very down on it for the same reason Packers fans are. You don't want to pay a guy top 5 money if he's going to be missing a whole bunch of games. And last year was the single, it was coming off these 2 seasons, his trade value will never be lower. If he just plays 16 games next year, his trade value will increase. Mm-hmm. It's that simple. 17 games, even better. Yeah. I think, and we talked about it on the show, I think the only way the Packers can truly have an elite defense next year, or at least an elite secondary, is by keeping Jaire and just hoping he returns to form. I don't see why the Packers should be eager to offload Jaire for basically no draft capital return for the team because he still has a chance to contribute. He's not a bum. He's not a terrible player. He's just been hurt a lot.
The only way that would make sense is if he just became such a pain in the ass behind the scenes that you're like, we got to get rid of this guy.
And I don't think that's going to happen. It doesn't sound like that's happening. Issues. They talked to him about it. And it's not like Jaire is sitting here demanding a trade request. Why would he? The Packers are paying him extremely generously for what he provides. I don't see any reason to think that this situation has gone belly up. I think he probably understands. I've missed a lot of games. I've got to play better to prove my worth. And I think he's probably motivated to go out and play his best football for Green Bay next.
Well, here's the situation if you're a Packers fan that wants to get rid of Jaire. Like, here's what I'd present to you. To me, he is clearly the best cornerback on your roster right now, and he is going to be healthy heading into the season. Yes, he's had all the injury concerns for now for a couple of years. He hasn't played a ton of games. He should be healthy coming into this year. If you look at that cornerback room and you say, can you really say to yourself, I believe in Keyshawn Nixon, I believe in Nate Obbs, I believe in Carrington Valentine. Those 3 guys. Do I believe in those 3 to go out there and get the job done? If you do, I would probably disagree. But if you believe in them, go ahead. Trot them out there. Go ahead. Go up against Jared Goff and that Lions offense. Go out against J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings receivers. Caleb Williams in year 2 and the Bears receivers. Like the NFC North has some really talented dudes. Go ahead and go against them. Put your 3 there. Now, if you say, why don't we'll draft someone? I would say, all right, you can look at the draft talent right now, but is Will Johnson from Michigan? 1, will he even be there? 2, coming off injury concerns. Most of these guys in the cornerback position after Travis Hunter, who's not going to be available, have some injury concerns. Benjamin Morrison from Notre Dame. We really like him. We saw him a lot. He's very good. Missed a lot of last season.
Yeah, but even if that weren't the case, drafting a guy hoping they'll be an All-Pro in year 1 is totally unreasonable. That's the only guy available that has All-Pro potential for the Packers at this point is Jaire because he's done it twice.
So that's the situation for Packers fans. Consider it if you're just fed up with Jaire and him missing time. I get it. It sucks when your guy's out, especially last year missing the big games down the stretch of the season. But he's the best dude you have. And you need cornerback. I know they're all talking about pass rusher. That's a huge issue, but I think cornerback could be the one that could sink the Packers next year if it's not addressed more or unless someone steps up. And I'm not sure I think Nixon or Valentine will step up to the degree they have to. With Jaire, you do have a cornerback 1 when he's on the field. He was the best guy on the team last year when he played. So before you're willing to
reunite Jaire and Rasul Douglas, just run back that 2022 secondary.
So we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens here. Nate Hobbs, another guy who has injury concerns. So this Packer cornerback room, one way or another, is going to have some question marks. But you're right, I believe. Bringing Jaire back gives you the best chance to have that elite defense. And we'll see what happens. They still need edge rusher, 100%. And I'd be very surprised if you saw the Packers go somewhere other than edge rusher or corner to start this draft. Okay.
Unless a receiver they really like falls. I think that's the other option.
Yeah, unless
Mr. I hate football.
Yeah, T-Mac falls and they get the guy who hates football.
For the record, if you're just watching this on the breakout, we ran a segment. We think that he hates football story is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
so don't take us seriously on that.
Yeah, we like T-Mac. I feel bad that's going on. Let's go over big deal or no deal, Ziggy. Did you see T-Mac, Arizona stud receiver? There's a video that leaked from him, I believe, during his freshman year of college. And I'm going to enjoy getting into this. He said, quote, "I don't watch football at all." His friend or whoever was recording said, "Is it hard to watch film then if you don't like watching football?" He goes, "I don't like watching film either. I don't ever need to watch it by myself, though, because we go over it as a receiver group." Again, this was said during his freshman year at Arizona. The last 2 years, just for anyone wondering how his stats looked, 1,400, 2 yards, 10 touchdowns, 1,300, 19 yards, 8 touchdowns at Arizona for the guy who doesn't like watching or studying football. Is that a big deal to you, Ziggy, heading into the draft? If you were a team looking to draft T-Mac, are you saying that this is a problem?
I'll tell you who hated watching football more than just about anything else in the world. Curtis Martin. If you watch his Hall of Fame speech, he talks about it. He says, "Yeah, I never really liked football that much. I honestly kind of hated it, but I was good at it and paid pretty well. I just did it for a while and then got out at the right time." I think as long as you're doing your job, and he says that, right? I don't like watching film, but we go over it as a group. I sort of do what I have to. Like, his job is to do what the coaches ask of him. And as long as he's willing to do that, I don't think you have to pretend that you absolutely love the sport and can't imagine anything better to do with your day than watching film. You can be perfectly good. You can even be great. You can be a Hall of Famer and not care about football at all. So no, as long as he's taking care of business, and I don't see any indication that he's like skipping practices or refusing to watch film or not doing what coaches tell him, I think there's no reason to worry about this. No deal.
I think that there's some degree, it's definitely a little deal at least, where you don't want. And again, this is what I hate about this coming out right now is we're talking about his freshman year. This is years ago now, and when you're a freshman in college, what are you, 17, 18 years old? So I don't like seeing this video leaking now, and everyone's making a big deal saying he's not committed, he doesn't want to do this or that. When we're talking about a guy who had a great career. And now people are ripping him because of something he said when he was 17 years old or 18 years old, his freshman year, before he really flew up draft boards. I just hate that that's kind of the world we're in right now. But given that he said that, given that he did say that, it's a little bit of a deal because you want to make sure, to me, that he's not still acting like that. I want a guy. No. I understand what you're saying. You don't it doesn't need to be your whole world, but I don't want my receiver publicly coming out saying basically saying I don't care.
This wasn't public, right? This was something that leaked.
Yeah, no, I just don't want that coming out. I would like to at least, you want your receiver, if you're taking him in the first round, watching film on his own to a degree. It doesn't need to be your whole day. No, not everyone has to be Tom Brady, but you don't want your guy basically saying I don't watch film by myself ever.
Yeah, no, I get that. And I think that's probably because he was a kid when he said
that's what I'm saying.
But I'll always remember, producer Zach, remember Jordan Cameron for the Dolphins?
Love Jordan Cameron. Nah.
Yeah, and then he retired because he got 1 million concussions. And afterwards, he came out and said, almost no one in the NFL loves football. I mean, there's crazy guys like Peyton Manning that love this game. They said, most of us are here for the paycheck.
Oh, I totally get it.
Nobody really loves, he said, look, here's what football is. It's watching a bunch of film. And then you go out when it's 5 degrees out and get slammed by someone who's 300 pounds for an afternoon, get hurt and move on.
Yeah.
Most guys in the NFL, I really think this is true. And plenty of players talk about this. Don't really like the game. As long as you are doing enough to succeed. And I'm willing to put a 18-year-old saying, yeah, I don't like watching film all that much in the he's a kid, he's not mature yet category. people who want their football players to love the game above all else, I think, are just not being realistic.
I agree with you. My thought is, if you're in the pre-draft meetings and T-Mac's just giving the vibe that like he doesn't care, like then it's a problem. But I don't think that's it. So that's why I'm actually annoyed. I'm annoyed watching all these reactions saying he should drop out of the first round. It would be crazy if we took him in the 20s.
What you do. You ask his coaches, did he work hard
and
succeed?
Yes.
And frankly, to have the level of success he did in college, he probably does. Right? This is a guy who consistently improved throughout his college career. He's clearly working hard. As long as the coaches say, yeah, he played well, he worked hard, he did what we asked him to do, who cares?
But again, I still don't, even if this is the case, I still don't want, I don't like this. Like, I wouldn't want to see news like this coming out. And I just say in these meetings, like, hey, if you don't want to do this, like, all the time, like I'm sorry, I wouldn't say that in a meeting, but if you're more like, remember Kyler Murray, all the instances with Kyler Murray not watching film and how big that thing blew up, just keep anything like this behind closed doors. If you don't have to be Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, but you do need to have some degree, I think, of a strong work ethic in the NFL, especially if I'm going to use a first round pick on a guy. So I think it's a little bit of a deal in that I want to see that the mentality changed a bit. But I'm not going to throw him off my draft board because of something he said 2 years ago.
Now, also, if you haven't seen this video, you should watch what this video is. It's like a guy on YouTube talking to him on a vlog while he's eating in the dining hall.
It's like a dining hall, yeah.
It's like he's just talking off the cuff, like eating some food. Like, I don't even know if he meant what he said. I don't know. I think this is a ridiculous.
Yeah, it's an absurd story.